and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then hey, I'm Lara. I make videos that's all about minimalism and intentional living. So if this is something that you're interested in, feel free to subscribe, like, hit the comment bell. That always helps me to be able to continue growing my channel. So before we get started, I know this is not my house. I am currently actually on tour teaching circus in Bundaberg, which is a blast. And rather than not get you out a video, I'm gonna try and still continue to do things like this and pack all of my film equipment with me and still be able to get you out a video, because I know that last year was so tough for me for videos. So this year, we're coming back with renewed energy. We are getting you a video a week. This video is all about things that I'm not buying this year. So as a minimalist, I'm always chipping away at things that I've realized that I don't need and that I can stand to not buy again. So there is a whole suite of stuff I already don't buy. But for the most part, this is stuff that I'm adding onto my list, new things that I'm not going to buy in the year moving forward. Number one on the list is coffee out. So specifically, I want to try and stop buying takeaway coffees in like takeaway coffee cups, because I've been doing that a lot and I think I still want to go for coffee out with people, but I want to try and stop doing like, oh, I just need to drop by there to buy coffee. Because that kind of stuff does add up, but also we have a coffee machine. I can make awesome coffee at home because I buy the same beans as the coffee shop. So it seems ridiculous to me to then spend a stupid amount of money on it, unless I'm going on an outing with friends. Next is soda water. So this isn't so much for me, this is actually for Alex, my husband. He loves soda water, so we were buying like multiple bottles every grocery shop, every week. But this year for Christmas, I bought him a SodaStream. So now he's able to make his own soda water at home using our machine. So now, thankfully, we no longer have to buy soda water, and that means that we save on the stuff that we have there. And while we're on that note, because we now have a SodaStream, we're able to make our own things like mixers for alcohol. And we do have an alcohol cupboard, and I feel like because I don't drink that much at all, I'll have like one drink a week, maybe. So we have a lot in there and it just doesn't get used because I don't drink that much. So I'm going to try and set myself a rule that I don't get to buy any more alcohol until I am completely out. Because I tend to do that. We'll have an event and I'll go out and I'll buy alcohol specially for it, which I'll end up with leftovers on, which lives back in the alcohol cupboard, never to be seen the light of day for months. Next is baking paper. So even though I am actually in a different city than the one that I live in, I can show you what I mean. I've been wanting to get these for ages, but Alex and I, when it creeps up to Christmas time, we kind of set ourselves a, we can't buy things for ourselves for the month of December until we get our Christmas gifts, because too many times it's happened that we've given each other a gift for Christmas and the person has purchased that gift for themselves a week earlier. So you're doubling up and then you have to return, and it's just a whole thing. So I had been not buying these things for myself for a while, and I randomly found them in the shops here. They are silicone baking sheets. So they're just silicone wrapped up, thin, reusable baking sheets. So no more baking paper for me. And then, while we're also on the subject of stuff that I've found in Bundaberg, which I've been meaning to find for a while, were on my not to buy anymore list, are sponges. So I've been looking for silicone sponges for a long time. Although they may not be entirely like you get to use them for a lifetime, they will last a lot longer than the kind of regular sponges in a supermarket would. So I got myself a pack of 3. As you can see, they're silicone-y, but they are adorable, and I am so keen to test out if these guys work, because that means we aren't going to go through sponges anywhere near as much. And I'm hoping that I won't buy sponges for the year, because that these 3 will last me for the year. Next on the list is shoes. So I recently purchased a new pair of sneakers. They are white, they are cute, because my other sneakers wore out. And then I quickly discovered that I could just be wearing my existing like walking shoes, or I had another pair of shoes that I use for circus that would also work for an everyday shoe. So I had these 2 options in my cupboard, and I still went out and bought a new pair. Granted, I did op shop them because sustainable, ethical. However, they're not necessary, and I added another pair of shoes into my life that didn't need to be there. So this year, I am going to try and not buy a pair of shoes. I'm going to try and make through the year with the shoes that I have. If they wear out, they go in the bin, and I look through my shoe collection for the next source of shoes to be my everyday shoe. So while we are talking about shoes and we're kind of on like a fashion tangent anyway, I am not going to buy any fast fashions this year. Last year I chose to not buy fast fashion and instead I went for pre-loved things, so op shopping the majority of what came into my wardrobe. This year, however, I want to look into, as my pieces go out, to be replaced with high quality goods. And I want them specifically to not just fall under high quality so that they'll last longer, but also ethical and sustainable fashions as much as I can. I want to research really hard and get these pieces in that are going to last me a long time. So rather than immediately just go huck, I want to try and find really good replacements for those. Next up is shopping bags and canvas bags. So I went through my collection of these again and found that I still have just way too many of these. So I'm going to try and not buy these. Some of these are going to be tough to do, but I want to try and remember my bags as much as I can. I don't just want to end up at the end of the year with another huge collection of canvas bags that I've managed to compile because I kept forgetting to take my canvas bags. Next is furniture. So as you saw in my Vlogmas videos, we are now fully decked out in our house. We have every item of furniture that we want in there, that we designed to go in there. Every piece is now in the house. So I want to live with just those pieces for a year before any of them get traded out, swapped around, and I'm quietly confident that they're not going to, because we thought really long and hard about how we want our house to function. Next up is notebooks. So I am a huge fan of cute, pretty notebooks. Granted, if I'm gifted notebooks, I'm not just gonna be like, well, I guess I'll just put that in the bin. However, I still have a really big collection of old notebooks that have like a couple of things scrawled in them. So I do want to get through all of these books with every page filled before they get thrown away. While we are on the stationery front, no more pairs of scissors coming into my house. There have been far too many pairs of scissors enter my house. In my end of year declutter, no more. We have 3, we're set. Next up is new technologies. So this is one that I'm usually pretty good at. I don't tend to buy the latest, greatest, whatever just because a new thing has come out. My last phone that I replaced was a iPhone 6S, and I replaced it with a, whatever this one is, 10? So if that's anything of an indication between now and when I next get my phone, I'm gonna be hanging on to it for a while. Unless I have technology that dies, I don't want to replace things just for the sake of replacing them. Also on this list, which I probably should have chucked further up when I was talking about fashion, is togs, or as you say in the US, swimwear, bathers, bikinis, whatever. I don't want any more of those in my house because I am intending to go swimming more, go to the beach more, go to freshwater rivers more this year, so I'm already trying to rein in that spending before I start the adventuring. And next is makeup. I still have a dumb amount of makeup for someone who doesn't wear it. And this is a habit that I still have to curb. When I go into pharmacies, when I go into chemists and I see their like makeup section, I'll still gravitate towards it and be like, ooh, pretty colors, pretty whatever. I don't need those. I don't really wear makeup that much. In fact, I'm gonna give myself a challenge later in the year to wear makeup every day and see how I feel. Currently, I'm actually in a no sugar challenge, which will be my video coming up at the end of this month when I'm finished doing it. So I'll let you know how the results of that go soon. We're only on week 1. But this year there will be a couple more of those things going. I do want to throw myself some more difficult challenges and see how I come up with them. Some bad habits that I want to quit, some things I've always wanted to try and want to see if I can, and give myself a really decent chunk of time to give them a shot. So if that sounds like something that you are keen to get more involved in, if there are things that you also are trying to cut out of your life, please let me know in the comments down below. It would be awesome if you guys could do some of my challenges with me. Until next time, thank you so much for hanging out. Merry New Year, happy 2021, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.